Hi everyone, Jamie here. Thank you for watching today. So in this video we're going to be making this cool Concertina gift box. So no specialty dies are required to make this project. It's held together with some hook and loop, and you've got this cute little ribbon handle at the top there. So I think it looks really cool either way, this way or with the hook and loop on the front there. It's entirely up to you. You open it up like so. So obviously it stands, you then open it up. You've got these 8 boxes inside and they all pull out. So you've got one box attached to the outer casing, and then all of these come out and then fold back down and fit inside the casing. How cool is that? I think they look really sweet. Inside here I've got my mum's favourite coffee. So some sachets in there. They're a reasonable size, so you could put some sweets in here, some hot chocolate, tea bags. If someone's a gardener, you could reduce this down, you could put seeds inside. Lots of ideas and potential to sort of create this gift box and add lots of different elements inside there. So let me show you how I've put it together. I'm going to split this project into 3 sections. So the first section will be the individual boxes. Then we'll work on the concertina that attaches all of them together. And then the third section will be sort of the outer casing and any final decoration. So to make the individual boxes for my project, I've made 8. So if you're following along, you want 8 pieces of 7 by 7, and along one side scored 1/2 inch, 3 1/4, 3 3/4, and 6 1/2. Then rotate your cardstock and score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 6 1/2. Fold and burnish along your score lines. So all the folds are mounting folds. And we're working with a 1/2 inch tab that's sort of going around the left, right and the bottom edge, and then on the top we've got the 2 1/2 inch tabs. So 2 on the top and then 1 around each side. It's going to work on the bottom, left to right. So just cut up to that first score line, and we're just going to free up all those pieces like so. Then rotate your cardstock and remove this outer square, and then just take a little wedge off there and there, and finally a wedge off this side tab. So your bottom should look like this now, and then we're going to rotate it so we've got those 2 1/2 inch sections at the bottom, and we're going to work left to right again. So we're going to cut up past the first to the second score line, and do that for all pieces. So all the score lines along, cut up past the first to the second, like so. Then rotate your cardstock, and we're going to bend these 2 panels back first of all, and we're going to remove 1 square from that side and 1 square from this one, like so. And then we're going to remove these 2 pieces. So just cut directly across that score line there, like so, and then fold over these 2 panels and remove those 2 squares. And then while we have this sort of in this position, I'm just going to take a little wedge there. You want to leave those as whole squares. Tidy that up a little bit. So if I lay that back down now, so this part is your lid, your 2 tabs there, the tab to attach everything together, and the bottom edge. So this is the front of the box. I'm going to flip it over and fold the larger panel and the 1/2" tab back on itself. And I'm going to add quick grab glue all along this 1/2" tab that we've created. Just fold the opposite side over. Just burnish that down. So we've got the 2 1/2" tabs there, that's the lid. So let's concentrate on the bottom. This being our front panel, I'm going to fold this one down last. So I'm going to fold the tabs in first. Then the back one over. And then finally that front tab. Just square that off, make sure that you've got a nice right angle on those edges. Now we're just going to do a dry run on the lid. Make sure that that sort of fits in and we don't have any catching. And you can see straight away there that that's too large to fit inside. So I can see a little bit of the score line left behind. Just going to take that away. So try that again and it's still catching. I'm going to take a little bit off this side and a little bit more off this side. Always starting with small amounts because you really want that to lock into place and hold itself shut. So there we go. I'm just going to pop my little sachet of coffee inside. So I've got my mother's favourite coffee there. It fits perfectly inside these boxes. You could get some smaller bar of chocolate. What else could you put there in there? I've made one slightly larger and it's got sort of individual sachets of nuts. I'm just trying to think. Hot chocolate packages. You know, lots of options to fit inside these gift boxes. So I'm going to bring in the ones that I've made off camera. So I've got my 7 prepared there and I've decorated them front and back with pattern paper. Now you don't have to do that for yours. The box itself, if you're using nice sort of coloured pattern paper, you could do the boxes all different colours. You could have sort of a rainbow effect. It's entirely up to you how you want to decorate these. You could do mats and layers, but I'm just going for just some pattern paper. So if you want to decorate those, you need a piece of 2.5 by 5 1/4. So on this last box, I'm just decorating one side because the back will be attached to the outer wrap. So just count up how many pieces you need if you want to do front and back the same as me. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 pieces of that pattern paper. As I said, you don't have to decorate those. You could add just, you know, your pattern paper on your outside wrap. So I'm just going to attach my pattern paper to the front here with the lid sort of facing me and at the top. I'm just going to pop that on there and then we're going to work on the concertina section of this gift box. Now you could do these boxes just on their own, they don't have to have an outside wrap. You could put a belly band on it. You know, there's different ways of decorating these. So the boxes will be attached together using some tabs. So as I said, you could just have those boxes on their own. You could add a belly band, or like me, you could add an outer wrap. But you'll sort of see where I'm going with this shortly. I'm going to bring my scoreboard back in, and I've trimmed 8 pieces of 1 by 5.5, and along the 1 inch side I've scored at 1/2 inch and just valley folded that. So if you're doing the same as me, you want 8 pieces. So if you've decorated your boxes, the one with the pattern paper missing on the back side, you want to start with that box first. So you can either start with the right or left side, it's entirely up to you. I'm going to start with the right side on this one. And I'm just going to add some Collal glue all along the spine of this box. So I've got the opening here at the top, and then I'm going to take these sort of tabs that we've created, and I'm going to attach that on the side there. Now I'm sort of doing it on the sort of the side spine. You could have it on the bottom, the top, you could have the opening then on the side. So sort of many ways of working this. Then I'm going to add some more glue to the tab. I'm going to bring in my next box, and again check that the lid is at the top. I'm going to butt these right up to one another, so we've got a nice, so they all sort of marry up, and then press that side down. Okay, so then this will open up like so. I'm not pulling on that too much because of the Collal glue. It does need some time to set. So we've got 2 now attached on this side here. So I'm going to flip it over and now work on the opposite side. Adding glue to the box on the outside edge, so on the right hand side. And then add the tab just over the top, like so. And then I'm going to bring in my next box, make sure that it's facing the right way, butt those 2 boxes up together, and everything lines up, and attach that tab. So you're working sort of on every other side. I apologize if I'm moving about too much and it's sort of hard to follow because of how I'm adding the glue, but I'll go back through it again now. So I've got my boxes upright and the lid is here. So for the first one, I've attached the tab on the right hand side and attached 2 boxes together. Then the middle box, I've attached the tab on the left hand side and attached a box next to one another. So basically we're just going every other side and attaching the next box. So you've got 2 attached there together, the next one on there, so then this one will be attached on the right hand side with the tab there, then the next one on the left hand, and so on. So I'm just going to go ahead now and attach all of these together. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've attached all the boxes together. Now I gave you the instruction of cutting 8 of those strips, but in fact you only need 7. So depending on which side you start, obviously I started on the right hand side, so I'm just going to flip this towards the camera so you can see. So I've got 4 of these strips and they're attaching 2 of the boxes together. I'm going to flip this now to the left hand side, and you can see that the first box and the final box doesn't have anything attached to it, and then we've got these 3 strips here. So if I pull this out, you've got these sort of row of gift boxes and it all falls down flat. So just the final thing that I want to do for this sort of section, the concertina section, is I've got some pattern paper and I'm just going to attach them just on the spine of the boxes. So again, this is an optional step. If you want to do this, you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 pieces of 1/4 inch by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to go ahead now and attach those to the spine just to give that a bit of extra decoration on the left and the right hand side, and then we're going to work on the final step, which is the outer casing. To make the outer casing, you want 1 piece of A4 length cardstock by 2 7/8. Along the long side, you want to score at 5 5/8 and 10 1/8. Then you need a piece of 10 5/8 by 2 7/8, and follow the same score lines again. So 5 5/8 and 10 1/8. So I've got my shorter panel here with the 1/2 inch tab on the left hand side. I'm just going to take a little wedge off that just so we don't have any overlapping. Sorry, knocking the camera there. It's one of those days today. So I'm going to add quick grab glue along the tab. So you want the larger panel, shorter panel, larger panel, shorter panel. Just attach those together on that score line. So before I attach the boxes, I'm just going to do some decoration to these panels before I attach them. Now my panels are slightly out because I use scrap that I had. So I'll give you the proper measurements that you need now. So for all of the panels, the width needs to be 2 5/8. Then for the longer ones, you want 2 pieces of 5 3/8. The next size down, you want 2 pieces of 4 1/4, and then I can just bring that across just for the lid or the hook and loop attachment. You want 1 piece of 1 1/4. So I'm just going to go ahead now and attach those before I attach the concertina boxes. So one last step before I attach the concertina boxes. So you've got your sort of your lid piece here, or where the hook and loop will go, and then you've got the smaller panel next to it. And I'm just going to punch a hole within the center of this panel. I'm just going to cut a piece of ribbon. I'm going to thread that through the hole, and then on the inside I'm going to cover that up with some pattern paper, just so I've got sort of a handle on top of the gift box. I've made another one of a slightly different size. I'll bring that in shortly and show you how I did the handle on that one. So you've got a couple of options there. You don't even have to have the handle. I just think that it looks quite cute. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to run some quick grab glue then either side of this ribbon. So I'm going to flip this sort of box over now, and where we've got this larger panel with the 1/2 inch tab is where we're going to attach those boxes. So we've got the shorter panel, then the medium size panel, the larger panel with the 1/2 inch tab. So I'm going to add clar glue all along this panel here. I'm going to take my row of boxes. So this section here is the lid. So where I've got the opening of my boxes, I want that to marry up with the left hand side, and I want to attach the box there with no pattern paper on the back. And I'm just going to lie this down flat on here and just place that in the center of that panel. So I'm going to stand this up now. So we've got the top of the boxes here, and they open up like so. The lid will go over the top and then marry up. So you can hold the gift box just there, and the last thing I'm going to do is just add some hook and loop on this section just to hold that in place and hold everything together. So you can carry it here. I'm not going to pull on it too much because those panels are still drying. Then once the hook and loop is added, open it up like so, and then all these boxes pull out and everything falls back down. So you've got this cute little sort of caddy or gift box. So you could have it sort of facing this way and add your maybe card handle just here, or you've got it this way with this sort of ribbon style handle. And I'll just grab the other gift box so you can see the sort of way that I decorated the other one. So this is the side profile of the other gift box. So I've got 6 boxes on this one, and they're 3/4 inch wide. We've got the happy days on the front, some ephemera. The handle, it's more for sort of decoration purposes. It does work. You might want to double that up if you've got sort of heavier items in there. And then you open it up like so, and you've got all those boxes that pull out. So on this one, can't get my words out. I haven't added pattern paper to the bottom. As I said, it's entirely up to you how you want to decorate these gift boxes. But I think they look really cool. So you've got the 2 options there of the 2 different style handles, and I think they've turned out really well. On this one, you can see I've kept the pattern paper and kept the order, so you've got that continuation of the design running through, and I think that looks really cool. So that might be nice to have your handle on the front here, as I was suggesting earlier. So I'm just going to add the hook and loop off camera, but I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Sorry if it's been a bit longer than my normal ones. Obviously there's a lot of steps to this, and it's taken sort of some time to sort of put this together. So hopefully you've persevered to the end. If you have, thank you very much for continuing to watch the video. If you've enjoyed today's tutorial from me, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like button, leave a comment, or consider subscribing to the channel. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future tutorials. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.